We're Al and Deb, and we just got back from 4 weeks in Thailand. Since we've been home, lots of people have asked us what we thought about Thailand. So today, Al and I thought we'd give you a rundown of a comparison between Bali, which has always been our favourite place to go, and Thailand, which was basically the first time that we've been for an extended amount of time.
Yes, this is just based on our opinion. I've talked to lots of people. They've said to me, no, I like Thailand for this reason and so forth. Our opinions are just our opinions. Don't be hating us on YouTube because of what we say.
Yeah, don't hate us.
So the first notable difference is Thailand's a total big country. Bali is an island. They're two different things, and it's a bit difficult to compare some things when you look at the size comparison. But travelling in Thailand is definitely a lot more expensive than travelling in Bali because you have to get flights everywhere. What other ways do we travel around Thailand?
Well, part of the reason that it was more expensive too was we were travelling a different way to what we're used to travelling. Normally, we have everything planned, where we're going, what we're doing, where we're staying. When we went to Thailand, we thought we were just going to wing it. So we only booked our first night's accommodation, and then from there we decided where we were going, which meant that our flights between different parts of Thailand were very expensive compared to if we had planned it 3 to 6 months before we left. So that was the first thing.
Yeah, so we'd have to get flights, then we'd have to get shuttle buses from town to town. We caught a train, which was an overnight train. We caught ferries. A lot different to Bali, where Bali you could just hire a driver for the day and go wherever you want.
Yeah, that's right. In Bali, our driver may cost $60, $70 a day to take us where we want to go and stay with us. But in Thailand, well, we were catching flights, basically, weren't we?
Well, yeah, we're losing days because of all the travelling we were doing. Now, I will say this. Winging it, organising the trip around Thailand as you go, when you're over 50 years old, is not a fun experience.
He's over 50.
So is she. But it's not a fun experience, and we've realised that we are people now that want to plan our holidays prior to going.
I never, ever want to go on an unplanned holiday again. The reason is, when I plan to do holidays and things like that, I'm a person that needs to research 100 different things, and it can take me days, weeks to research exactly what I want to do, where I want to go, where I want to stay. Then I compare all the places that we're staying to see which is the best one out of those. So when you're that sort of person, getting overseas to the place where you're visiting and trying to do that over there, you spend
more
stressful.
time in the room than actually out touring.
Trying to book places and work out how to book things, where I could have done all that before I left.
Yeah.
So
in Thailand, you had to pre-plan your tour. If we're in Bali, I'd say it's a little bit different. You can be in Bali and you can say, we might go to such and such on the other side of the island tomorrow, and book it there and then.
Yeah, you can just go outside and there's drivers everywhere.
Yeah.
Travel was a little bit harder and more expensive. Travelling short distances in Bali and Thailand, you do need to use 2 different apps. The app that you need for Thailand is the Grab app, or some people use the Bolt, but we found Bolt wasn't very reliable. And the one that you need to use for Bali is Gojek. Now, they are great apps to use.
Yeah, they are always pretty reliable sources of travel, quite cheap travel. There are other ways you can travel in Thailand. There's an open pickup truck, I don't know what they call them, that you can jump in the back of for like 20 baht and just travel around to town, cities or whatever.
Yeah, one of the problems that we had with the Grab in Thailand was we did go to one of the night markets in Pattaya, and trying to get a Grab back, our trip got cancelled because the Grab driver apparently was surrounded by mafia.
Crazy.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And so she had to cancel. So that was a little bit worrisome.
Yeah.
But
We don't know the story behind it, but it was a one-off experience and it didn't happen again.
no.
And it was in a crazy place. That was in Pattaya,
Yeah.
where it's well known for some of its crime.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now, the safety of cars in Thailand versus Bali. Thailand is well known for having a high daily death rate on the roads. The speeds are high. They're up around the 100k, 120k mark, and they're flying around everywhere, not 100% staying in lanes. They're sort of like Bali, where they drive where they want, but it's a little bit more modern. Where in Bali, there's a lot more traffic. It's a lot more congested, I would say, but the speeds are a lot slower. Therefore, the accidents aren't as serious if there are an accident.
Yeah.
I feel safer in Bali than in Thailand.
Yeah, so
on the
did I.
roads.
So did I. And I mean, one example of that was when we were headed from Phuket down to Patong Beach. We did need to get a transfer bus. That's where Alan actually got ripped off. But we'll talk
100
about that later.
Yeah.
We did get a bus that took us down there. And, for example, they got as many people into that minibus as they could. And they also had a woman sitting on basically the console, like the dash, not the dash, between the seats in the front. She had no backrest for her back. She had no seatbelt. It was just like cram as many people in as you can. So
Yeah, all about making more money.
yeah, there was no safety concern.
Yeah, both places are a bit crazy crossing the road, but in Thailand, it's customary that the cars don't really slow down for you to cross the road. You've got to make your way through the cars the best you can. Bali's a bit different. They slow down a little bit, but in comparison, they're nearly the same.
Safer in Bali.
Safer in Bali, yeah, agreed. Right, my favourite topic now is food. Yeah, food. Thailand. Thailand food is, as you would expect, delicious. Love Thai food. And the open markets, their open markets are everywhere, where you go down and you sit with hundreds and hundreds of people with hundreds and hundreds of choices of food, and you can sit down and have a good food.
Yeah, I think the night markets in Thailand is one of the best experiences that we had over there.
Yeah.
In regard to food and restaurants and stuff like that, because they were huge and they had a big variety, and they were in the main places that we went. Like I think up in Chiang Mai, they had a really good one up there, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a couple of good ones there.
Yeah. So they had, what you'd expect for Thai food.
Yeah, so you don't really sit at restaurants as much in Thailand. You more sit at open markets to eat your food.
It's just a nice vibe, isn't it?
Sometimes for convenience, we stop to get fast food at Burger King and
in the
McDonald's,
airports mainly. Yeah.
And, oh my God, avoid it, because the prices in Thailand for fast food are like ridiculous.
It's probably a good thing anyways.
Yeah, probably a good thing. And
the other thing that we did though for convenience, sometimes if we didn't feel like, I got over the Thai food a lot quicker than Alan did. Alan could have had it for breakfast, lunch and dinner, I think.
Love curry.
But I got over the Thai food quicker. So sometimes I just feel like something a bit different, and you wouldn't believe it, but 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven in Thailand is everywhere, and they cater for tourists really well, where you can go in there and buy a
toasted cheese sandwich.
pre-made meal, and they heat it up for you there, and it's quite cheap actually.
Yeah,
so it ended
really
up
cheap.
Yeah, considering we're there for a month, we saved a lot of money eating at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, just for a lunch, sometimes you just go over and get like a sushi roll or something like that. It was
the street carts were quite good too. There were some lovely meals we had off the street carts.
Yeah, the street food was really good.
Now, even though I'd rate Thai food far more than
Higher.
Balinese food. I do like Balinese food, but the Thai food to me had such better tastes and varieties. But Western food, if you've got a habit that you need to have a hamburger or a steak or pasta or something, I would say Balinese restaurants cater better for the Western variety of foods.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Balinese do have more Aussie style food and are better at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the food.
Yeah. So what's better?
Me, Thai food.
I'd say Balinese food.
I do like
Which is
nasi
funny.
goreng.
Which is funny because in Australia, if I said, okay, let's go to a restaurant, I'd say, okay, let's go to a Thai restaurant. But I think Thai food in Australia is better than Thai food in Thailand.
I would agree 100%.
Would you?
Australian Thai food.
I guess it caters to our taste better or something.
I don't know how I would put it. I think they put more presentation into the food. For example, if you buy a curry chicken dish in Thailand, quite often you just get a quarter of a chook put in.
Yeah, that's right. Shopping. I like to shop in Bali
Why?
because I'm familiar with Bali. I know how much to expect to pay for things in Bali when I'm out negotiating on prices. There's also shops that are fixed prices. So if I don't know the price of something, I can go to a fixed price shop and gauge the price from there of what I want to pay on the streets or at the markets. Thailand, there were a lot of markets, but there wasn't a lot that I wanted to buy.
I would probably say that it's a lot because...
Oh, I did buy this necklace in Thailand.
It's because we've done a lot of those sort of market shoppings in Bali that we're sort of marketed out. But if you're a first-time shopper in Thailand, the shops are pretty good, on par with Bali shops, I would say.
Yeah, with
like
variety.
every second shop selling the same things, but that's the way they do it.
Yeah, that's right.
So I would put the shopping on par with
probably
each other.
same, but I'm going to pick Bali for shopping.
Same but different.
Same but different.
Yeah.
Yeah, picking Bali. So Thailand's known as the land of smiles, and Bali's known as the island of the gods. And
well, hang on a second. Thailand is the land of smiles.
that's what they're known for.
I don't recall seeing too many smiles in Thailand.
There was some. But, yeah, I could say you could call Bali both land of smiles and island of the gods.
Without a doubt.
Thailand, I don't know, the landscape's beautiful, but the people didn't seem that happy.
This is where people are going to strongly disagree with what I say, probably. The culture of a place is very important. It's probably the most important aspect when going somewhere. And
I agree.
I found, Bali culture, I'll start with that. The Balinese people definitely are the nicest people on this earth. They are beautiful people, beautiful culture. Everything's lovely about them. Thailand, I found it nothing like Bali. I would say the Thai people are rude. Yes, I know, big call.
Big call out.
They're happy to take your tourist dollar, but they'll do very little to earn that money, and they've just got no manners, I would say. Now, I don't know if it's a culture thing. I don't know if it's just...
I think it was.
I don't know what it is.
I think it was a culture thing because, there were times when we would be purchasing or buying something. Oh, hang on, I just remembered something. there were times that we would be buying something to say, but you'd think that the person serving you or about to serve you were angry, and they'd just give you a look of like disgust, like, you know, they didn't want to serve you. Or when they were serving you, they may yell at you, which happened to me. And on another occasion, or on lots of occasions, when I was in the middle of trying to purchase something, if somebody else came over who also wanted to purchase something and they were from Thailand, automatically the person serving me would turn away from me and start serving the other person. I got to the point where I would just turn around and walk out of the shop because I got over it really quickly. So I can see what you're saying now.
Yeah, and like we're talking about over a month. This isn't just a one-off experience. This is a month's worth of people not having the ability to display common courtesies. So without a doubt, Bali is the place if you want a lovely culture with a lovely people.
Who are happy all the time.
Who are happy all the time.
Don't hate us. It's just our opinion over a month of being there.
That's right.
Lots of people love it.
Yeah, that's it. But they're entitled to be wrong.
Okay, so I vote for Bali for that one.
Yeah, Bali.
Accommodation. It's about 50-50 because I'd say that in Bali, the accommodation and landscaping around hotels is usually pretty good, except in Bali, because of the humidity, there's a lot of places where you would get accommodation and they would have mould in the bathroom.
Yeah, Bali is well known for mould. Yeah, we've got a lot of rooms with mould in it. Not so much in Thailand. It wasn't too bad.
No, we didn't have mouldy rooms in Thailand, but their quality of cleaning was very low. For example, we had to, in one place, ask them to remake the bed with fresh sheets because it looked like someone had just had an adventurous night before.
And the sheets weren't changed.
No, it was pretty disgusting. So there are a lack of cleaning
in some places.
In Thailand that we found.
Yeah.
Other places.
But the motels generally are okay in Thailand.
Yeah.
There's a great variety of motels and a great variety of prices. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's all depends on how much you're going to spend.
Same as in Bali. So for room wise, I would say Bali and Thailand same.
Yep. The big difference I would say is Balinese put a lot of effort into
gardens.
Let's start with gardens. Balinese gardens are sculpted, well manicured, beautiful gardens. Thai people don't know really what a garden is because we didn't see too many gardens in Thailand around the motels. It's just the way they do it.
There's a lot of buildings.
It's just buildings, no gardens at all. Not my preference. I prefer to have a lot of nature around wherever I'm staying.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I've noticed about Thailand is they build buildings quite well, and once they've built that building, they don't really do they don't really do too much maintenance to the building. I'm going to even extend that even further. They don't do any maintenance to the building. Once their buildings are built, they just left the building alone. It never gets repainted. They all look grotty and dirty and old, and things are broken down. I just couldn't believe it. I've never seen that before. So I'd say it's not the most attractive place to be in around Thailand when you're talking about the concrete jungle. Yeah.
It is a concrete jungle.
Yeah.
And you're right, the upkeep just isn't there compared to Bali.
Yeah. Once it's broken down, it stays broken down. Mm-hmm. Let's go to now. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to point out on that. There was a lot more litter around the concrete jungle in Thailand as well. Just a small note that I picked up on was wherever I looked, there was rubbish.
But in saying that, the beaches didn't have the pollution like the Bali beaches do.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're in Bali, every morning there will be people out collecting all the rubbish from the beaches before you usually get up in the morning. So you don't usually see it, but it is there. There's a lot of pollution that comes from having a mass amount of people on a small island.
Yeah. The beaches are dirtier in Bali. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the water is beautiful in Thailand.
It is, yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. And so was the landscape, like the islands and things like that.
Yeah, we'll get on to islands next.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
The islands are as beautiful as they make them out to be in the brochures now.
Are or aren't?
They are. The
yeah,
islands
yeah,
are beautiful.
Yeah.
The biggest shock for me was the pictures you see in the brochures of the islands are these deserted islands with a couple of people around them. They're not like that in reality. PP Island, which we went to, there's over 10,000 people travelling to that island every day. And that amount of tourism has pretty much taken over that island, and the reefs are disappearing, the sea life is disappearing, there's rubbish everywhere. So tourism is sort of killing off those islands, but they are beautiful islands. I will say they are beautiful islands.
Yeah, with lots of people.
Yeah, so that is a concern that the tourism board in Thailand are addressing, but they do like the tourist dollar, and there's going to still be a lot of people travelling to those islands. No rubbish on the islands, other than on the beach, I mean.
Yeah.
There are rubbish piled up everywhere on the island.
Yeah. But the beaches were nice and clear and lovely.
Water sports everywhere. You can parasail, you can do all that sort of thing all day long in Thailand. Banana boats.
Bali does that too.
Yeah. Now the big thing that surprised me on the island in Thailand is the smog and the smoke.
Yeah.
It was there. Now, the time of the year we went round February.
We went all of March.
All of March. They burn the sugarcane off up north around that time, and there's smog everywhere. And it's well known for people having respiratory problems from the amount of smog there is. So we were warned about that, and we knew that was going to be there, and it was.
But it was supposed to start burning season in April. But we were there in March, and it was already smoggy.
But it was smoggy all over Thailand. The entire country was covered in smog. Even after we got right out into the ocean, into the islands, there was still smog everywhere. And you did feel it in your throat.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if that's got anything to do with, but 4 weeks or 3 weeks later, and I've still got a throat infection, and I don't know whether it's from all the smog that was in Thailand or they've just got super germs over there, but I've never had a throat infection that's lasted this long.
And you do have, in Bali, you do have the smoke occasionally in spots.
From the fields, yeah.
And they also do the spray for mosquitoes and so forth. You do get those sort of things in Bali, but nowhere near as bad as in Thailand.
No.
It's a much higher population in Thailand, and it's suffering because of it, I think.
Yeah, and I wanted to get some beautiful photographs and things like that, but I felt like every time I was going to take a photograph, there was just smog, like in the photo.
Yeah.
So
it's funny looking in the middle of the day and seeing an orange sun that you could stare at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the big thing about Bali to me, when it comes to the landscape, they don't have the island. They do have the islands like Thailand, but the thing that sells Bali to me is the beautiful rice terraces once you get up in the mountains and stuff, and also the sunsets. They're probably the best sunsets I've seen anywhere in the world.
And waterfalls.
And the waterfalls are cool too. Thailand's got some nice waterfalls.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I would say if you're travelling around looking at the natural environment, I would go Bali over Thailand, definitely.
That's a hard call.
Hard call?
Yeah. Because I think Thailand was beautiful.
Okay. All right. Why?
Because it had everything that you were just talking about, like...
It's got the islands.
It's got the islands, it's got the waterfalls, it's got the mountains, it's got the beaches. I think everywhere's different, and because we went up to the top, then down to the bottom, then into the middle, then across to the islands, then back to Bangkok, we got to experience a lot of different features of Thailand. Whereas because Bali is a lot smaller, it does have everything, but I just felt there was a bigger variety in Thailand.
Oh, okay. While you were saying that, I was assessing why I think Bali was better, and I think it's probably because it's more tropical rainforesty, and it's a lot more green than Thailand is. I actually thought Thailand would be a lot more green than what it actually is.
Yeah, I think once you get out of the city, if you spend a lot of time in the city in Thailand, you don't get to see it. But once you get out of the city and go to the smaller areas, that's when you see the beauty of Thailand, or at the islands.
Okay.
Or down the south.
So what is your call? Which one was prettier?
The islands of Thailand.
I reckon the rice paddies and the sunsets of Bali. There you go. Two different opinions. Right, yeah, we've looked at all different aspects of Bali and Thailand, and I think it's pretty obvious which way I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Bali. I think Bali is such a wonderful place. Like, I've been there lots of times. I keep going back to it. And probably the three reasons I would say that I go to Bali a lot and prefer Bali over Thailand is the people are beautiful people. Their culture is such a beautiful culture, and they basically live life with the priority of just being happy. So that's two: culture, people, and the third one I would say is the environment. I love tropical rainforests. They're beautiful carved and sculptures everywhere. You walk in the front door of a house and the front doors are beautifully sculpted doors. To me, that's a seller, that's a winner. Bali's my choice.
Okay, and I think for all those reasons that you just said, I have to agree with everything. And I would put Bali as my priority as well.
Yeah.
Not my priority. What am I talking about?
Preference.
As my preference.
Yeah. No, people in Bali, what you've got to do now is you've got to master Thai food. And then it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
I was going to say, and we're coming over there in 3 weeks' time, so...
Yeah. So
2 months in Bali.
2 months in Bali. We're coming back. Let's see you there.
Keen.